What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Rafter Trader here, back with another video. Today's video, I want to go over NAS100 from this previous week. Showed you guys how you could have profited off of these trades and how you could have taken advantage and made you some nice money in the market. All right. So with that being said, let's get to this breakdown. First thing first, all right. Always want to zoom in on your charts, right? Always want to zoom in on your charts to see what happened. All right. A couple days before or whatever, always just look and see what happened. Like usually like the previous 2 days. All right. And also you want to check the news. All right. So for the news, okay, we can see here that on December 4th, we had no major red news on December 4th with USD. All right. NASDAQ, we look at the USD. We had no major red news. Okay. Now, coming back to our charts, we can see clearly here that Friday closed as an inside day. Now, what is an inside day? Okay, inside day, if you follow Stacy Burke, all right, you know that an inside day is when price closes inside of your previous day's high, which is here, and your previous day's low, which is here. So we had an inside day here. Okay, this is an inside day. All right. So that right there is a signal day for us. Okay. All right. This is an inside day. Now, what does the inside day does for us? It's a signal day. We're looking for a opportunity, be it be a long opportunity or a short opportunity. Okay. So we can clearly see we had an inside day here on previous Friday. So now let's just pull our chart up so we can see. Now, coming into our New York session, okay, we know we had no major red news coming into our New York session. We can see that when price opened up on that Sunday, we can see we was up high, okay. All right, we can see that we was clearly up high. We can see that Asian session, we had some accumulation. Price gave us a little drop, but we can clearly see that price is making lower lows and lower highs. So now what do we do when once we come to our New York session? If you follow me, you know that I like to do. I like to mark up my high. Okay, my high of the day. That is my high of the day so far. Okay, so that's the high of the day. That's the highest that price has been on this current date. All right, and this was the low of the day. Okay, here's our low of the day. All right, so we have our high of the day and we have our low of the day marked up. We also know that Friday gave us an inside day. So we're looking for a sell. We're looking for an opportunity, not a sell opportunity. My bad. We're looking for an opportunity in the market, whichever one presents itself, be it a buy or a sell. Okay. So now we can see that once the market opened up here at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right, prices continue to drop. At 8:30, we get this nice Mariposa candle taking out all of these lows, okay? You can see price took out all of these lows, okay? So whoever is still long in this market is now underwater. Price gives us a Mariposa candle. We had no major red news. This is 1 hour into our session, okay? This is 1 hour into the session. At 9 a.m., you could have taken an entry. Okay, you could have taken an entry, been done and dusted in one candle with your 50 points. Okay, could have been done and dusted, 50 points out of the way, gone. All right, so that was a nice trade opportunity if you was able to take this trade. Now, if you did not notice the inside day and did not take this short opportunity, you could have just waited. Okay, so now you can see that price clearly pushed down, taking out our previous day's low. Okay, you also had your current low of the day hit, and you also had your last week's low hit. So now, once all this has been triggered, now what do you need to do in order to look for a long opportunity? You need to wait on confirmation. Okay, you can clearly see here at 11 a.m. you get this nice engulfing candle. Okay, buy low setup, nice engulfing candle, 11:30. Right here, you could have gotten an entry below our 50 level. Okay, and you could have clearly got your 50 points up out of this move as a buy low setup. Okay, or you could have just held it for whatever you wanted, almost 100 points on that move. But you can clearly see you had two opportunities here on Monday. Okay, on Monday you had two opportunities. You had a short opportunity, and you also had a long opportunity. Okay, now let's go into Tuesday. All right, you want to check out news on Tuesday. What do we have for Tuesday? On Tuesday, you can see we had major red news at 10 a.m. Okay. And then we had some low impact news, all right, at like 10:09. All right. So major red news around at 10 a.m. Okay. So what do? Before our New York session opens up. Okay, we clearly can see that price action, all right, had done broke up to the upside, all right, doing that Monday. And we can see in our Asian session, price had gave us a nice little accumulation, all right, and we get this drop, taking out this higher low here. So now you had that little breaking structure. Okay, but coming into your New York session, you want to just mark off your high, mark off your low before the session open. Where's my lowest point? Okay, here's my lowest point. Okay, where's my highest point? My highest point is right here, right at the open closing price level. Okay, there's my highest point. Now, when my New York session opens up right here at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you understand price action and knowing where you are in the market, man, that is a big key. You can clearly see that when the London session opens up, boom, it drops down, it pulls back up, it comes back, right back into that low once again. But you can clearly see price is staying above 50. Okay, it is staying above the 50 level. All right. So once your session opens up and you're seeing this pattern, you can clearly see you have a double bottom. This is a double bottom. Okay. 8 a.m. price shoots up to the upside, comes back, give you a retest of that level once again. So look at the rejections that you have at this level. Okay, you have nice rejections at this level. Okay, it gives you this pin hammer. Okay, gives you a pin hammer right here. Okay, pin hammer at 9 a.m. New 4-hour candle just started. Pin hammer at 9:30. All right, our news is over. Okay, news is over. Remember, we had and our news is over. Oh, no, we had news at 10 a.m. I mean, not news is not over, but you could have been in before the news. My bad. News is at 10, but you could have traded the open. Okay, you could have traded the open on this right here because you clearly see you have a double bottom. All right, price came back. You have the double bottom. All right, price also took out our previous days. Last week's low. We're clearly below last week's low, so that is another trigger. Okay, we're below last week's low. All right, give us a nice pin hammer. Okay, at 9 a.m. All right, 9:30, you could have been in at the break of this high of this candle. You could have taken a 9:30 entry. All right, if you wanted to, you could have taken a 9:30 entry. You get a W at the bottom. All right, we get the W at the bottom. 9:30 explosion. All right, we're also taking out the last week's low. All right, news was here at 10 a.m. We had major red news here at 10 a.m. And you can see the market continue to push to the upside. All right, continue to push up, taking out our current high. Okay, taking out our current high, but we're continuing to push to the upside. So now you're in that third hour. All right, 10:30. Okay, you could have taken an entry here at 10:30. All right, you could have taken an entry here at 10:30 and you still got your 50 pips if you did not take it from the bottom. 10:30, you could have taken your entry. Now you can see that price had took out your current high. Now, depending on the time frame that you're on, you probably could have shorted this. But based off the 30-minute time frame, you can clearly see you get this nice engulfing. Okay, you get a nice 1, 2, 3 up. They give you the engulfing in 11:30. Okay, you could have got in above 75, rolled this here on down. All right, you still was able to catch a 50-point move. So you had, like 3 opportunities that you could have taken on the NASDAQ on Tuesday. Okay. Now going into Wednesday. All right. Going into Wednesday. All right. We want to check our news. What we have for news on Wednesday. Wednesday, we had USD news at 8:15. Major red news at 8:15. Non-farm payroll. Now, you can clearly see, all right, once again, we had another inside day. Price closes inside of the previous day's high, previous day's low. Signal day. Okay. Signal day. All right. So now going into our New York session, what do? I mark off my highs. Okay. And I mark off my low before the session opens. That is it. Okay. We had major red news at what time? Major red news at 8:15. 8:15, we had major red news. Session opens. All right. So as we can see, coming into that Wednesday, we can see that Asian session pumped up to the upside. All right, taking out the previous day's high. Boom. Another trigger. So you have the inside day as a signal. You get your previous day's high triggered. Okay. Another trigger. All right. For the session, they dump it down. All right. And as our session opens up, they pump it back up 1, 2, 3 to the high. All right. 1, 2, 3 to the high. And boom, they give you the nice drop. High of day trade. High of day trade. And I actually took this trade. I got in right at the break of this candle at market open. I got in because our news had already passed. So I'm up high. Price took out Tuesday's high, and price also took out Monday's high. So as 9:30 opened up, as soon as it broke this candle, I was in. All right. You can clearly see you had 50, you got your 50 points off of that. Now, if you wanted to wait until this candle closed, if you're on a 30-minute time frame, you could have done that as well, and you were still able to catch about 50 points or more off of that trade. So we had a nice 1, 2, 3 engulfing. This is what I like to see right here. 1, 2, 3 up, boom. That was it. That was a nice, beautiful move here. So I don't know all you guys that don't trade on Wednesdays. I don't know. To each his own. But this was a nice free cash Wednesday here. All right. So now going into Thursday. Going into our Thursday, what do we want to do? We want to check news. So what do we have for news? USD, we have news, major red news, unemployment claims at 8:30. 8:30, we have major red news. Okay. So now coming into Thursday, once our New York session opens up, okay, once New York session opens up, before New York session opens, mark off your high, mark off your low. Okay. Mark off your high, mark off your low. All right. Now, you can clearly see here on this chart, all right, we had some accumulation, all right. We're below last week's low. That's our trigger. Asian session gives us some accumulation, all right. Price triggers our previous day's low, another trigger, all right. So now you can see, all right, price action starts to pull away, all right, buy low. They pulling away. Okay, so once our New York session opens up, we have our news at 8:30. All right. And now once this candle closes on a 30-minute time frame, all right, we're too close up here for me to take an entry at 9 a.m. So I'll wait after 9:30. All right, we're going long. You can see the momentum pushing up. Our trigger, previous day's low, last week's low, triggered. All right, even though this has taken out our current high of the day, but for me, the previous day's low, last week low takes precedence over this current high. All right. So you can see as price continue to push to the upside. Now at 10 a.m., okay, 10 a.m., once this 10 a.m. candle broke this 9:30 candle's body, you could have been in this trade. You could have been in this trade, all right, and rolled this thing on up and got your 50 points. Okay. You could have been in that trade and caught your 50. Now you can see prices in a strong uptrend. Okay. Then they finally come back and they give you a retest. All right. Give you a nice little retest at 11 a.m. All right. Strong, nice little rejection here. So this next candle as price pushes back up. All right. You could have got in at the break of the candle. You could have got in here depending on your time frame that you're using. You could have got in right at the bottom here, or you could have just waited till it got up to your level. To each his own, whichever one you want. You could have got in at the break of the candle. Either way, you still was able to catch about 50 points off of this trade. We had the nice buy low setup, all right, coming in on our Thursday. Okay, now on our Friday, what do we have? Friday, we had non-farm payrolls, news at 8:30, major red news all the way up to 10 a.m. Okay, major red news all the way up to 10 a.m. So what do? Mark off your high, right? Mark off your high, mark off your low before the session opens up. All right. You see, once the session opens up, we had news here at 8:30. Nice strong rejection. All right. Looking at price action, you can see that we was clearly in an uptrend. All right. Coming into that day, we was clearly in an uptrend. They give you 1, 2, 3 engulfing at 9:30. All right. We had 10 a.m. We had major red news. So we still want to just wait after 10 a.m. Now, you can see that your previous day's high has been triggered. Depending on the time frame that you're on, all right, you could have got a high of day sell opportunity. But knowing that you're not going to get exposure because the market is trending up. All right, we're in an uptrend. Clearly see we're in an uptrend. Now, if you're on a 30-minute time frame, you want to wait from confirmation because you see this nice rejection here. All right, this is a strong rejection. All right, so you want to wait until you get confirmation. So you can see here at 11 a.m., you get a nice engulfing candle because this candle engulfed this previous candle. All right. And you could have entered at 11:30 for a sell opportunity. And you can clearly see you had 50 points. All right. 50 points on this trade. But knowing that price is in an uptrend, okay, you're in an uptrend. So you could have caught the short. There was no problem catching the short. Everything was there. 1, 2, 3 engulfing. All right. Taking out the previous day's high, taking out your current high. All right. You could have shorted this. All right. And you still got your 50 points. All right. Now, you could also have taken a long opportunity because you would stayed with the trend. All right. Because you can see when they dumped it down during that gap time when the market opened up, they dumped it down. All right. During our session, they pumped it back up. All right. Breaking this structure here. All right. Had to break in this structure of this high. All right. They come back, they test this high, and this was the move that I caught. All right, I caught this move to pass phase two. All right, you can see you came down, retest. All right, give you a nice little tweeze at bottom here. You got equal lows, and boom, it was back up and put in a new high. All right, so those are some trades you could have taken with Nasdaq this previous week. Every day you could have profitable. You could have made profit off of the NAS100. All right, every day you could have profited off of NAS100. Now this is just based off the way that I trade. Okay, so if your strategy doesn't call for that, then you could not have made profit. But you could have profited off of NAS100 every day of this past week. So, man, if you guys like the breakdown, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Like always, work hard, stay disciplined, and be patient, and know that your time will come. Peace and love. Have a good one, family.